Welcome back to Lucrative Coaching Jumpstart. In this training, I'm going to be walking you through choosing your money-making niche. This specific training follows up from the training before, which is all about niching in to dominate. Once you have niched in to dominate, now you want to choose your money-making niche. And once you have that niche, you don't move away from that. This is where you now have the foundation of a business. This is the foundation. Imagine building a house. This becomes the foundation before the actual house is built. Now, we all know that if you build a house on a rubbish foundation, that house is not going to last very long. But if you build it on a solid foundation, i.e. a money-making niche, you are going to have an incredible business and a very, very strong house. So that is what I want to walk you through in this training. So let's dive in. Don't forget that one of the things that we have done to help you to implement and get results from Lucrative Coaching Jumpstart is that we have created some stellar workbooks with implementation plans for every section of this program. Remember to click the button below where it says workbook and get your workbook. Let's unlock today's training. Okay, so the first step in niching in is to uncover what your genius zone is. A lot of people are trying to build a business out of thin air. If you can uncover your genius zone, it makes it so easy to create a program, to create courses, to create many different tools that can solve problems for people. So uncovering your genius zone. I'm going to ask you a series of questions that are going to help you to uncover your genius zone. But the first thing I want you to remember is this. There is more money in what you know than in what you do sometimes, right? So there is more money in what you know, what is in here, than in your day job. So let's have a look at some of these questions. Question number one is, what do you know about? What do you know about? So here are some examples for myself. I know how to sell. I know how to persuade people to take action. I know how to solve people's problems. When people come to me and they are feeling down or deflated or unsure, I know how to put them on the right path. What I want you to do right now is to pause this video and write down your answers to what do you know about. Think about 5 to 10 things that you know how to do these things, and write a list of those things before moving forward. So pause and take action. Question number 2 is this. What do people typically ask your advice on? Are you that person who people come to? Your girlfriends come to you, or perhaps some male friends or whoever, random people, strangers come to you and they ask your advice on something. What do people typically ask your advice on? So here are some of my examples. For me, people typically ask my advice on business and on money. They come to me all the time and they say, Pam, I have this idea, or Pam, I'm struggling in this area of my business. What can I do? So what I want you to do right now is, again, pause this video and write down a few things that people typically ask your advice on, whatever it is. Even if they're asking your advice on how do I cut my nails clean, it doesn't matter what it is, write that down. Next question. What have you successfully overcome or achieved? Here is my example. I turned a failing business into a 6-figure business in 6 months. True story. We all have things that we have successfully overcome or achieved. So I want you to have a real think about this one. Pause the video and just think to yourself, what have I successfully overcome? What have I successfully achieved? Have you done your master's? Do you have a PhD? Have you walked on stage? Have you spoken at conferences? Have you adopted a dog? Have you sold something that people thought wasn't possible, but you did it? What have you successfully overcome or achieved? Pause this video and write down a list, as many as you can think of, to answer this question, because it's going to help you to uncover what your genius zone is. Next question. What do you do so easily that people marvel at? Here is my answer. People marvel when I speak, when I teach, when I train. People get it. I'm sure most of what I'm teaching in this program, you've probably heard bits of from different people. But there is something about the way that I teach, I'm told, that makes it land. People get it easier. So people marvel when I speak or when I teach or when I train. Now it's your turn. I want you to have a think. and think to yourself, what do you do so easy that people are, they're surprised, they're impressed, they're probably envious or jealous of? What is it that you do so easily that people marvel at? Pause this video and write down your list. Now, what I want you to do right now is to look back at all of your list. It's time to select the one idea that you are going to focus your signature program on. So to help you to decide on the idea that you are going to go with, to discover where your money making zone is, I want you to think about all of your ideas and to distill them based on 3 areas of validation. So validation, three areas of validation. Number 1 is affluence. Are the audience affluent, right? The people who you want to help, are they affluent? Do they have money, right? So before you choose your idea from your 15 or 20 ideas that you might have based on answering all of those questions, think, if I were to solve this specific problem, do the people who have this problem, do they have the money? Do they have the money to pay me for this? Number 2 is heart, which basically means, do I love this, right? Do I love this? Can I wake up every morning and look forward to doing this? I tell you something, my life changed when I pivoted my business to doing something that I love. Honestly, whilst I might have had, one of the toughest years, losing my husband and so on, I wake up excited to do what I do. And that gives me joy, and that has helped with my healing. That has helped me to help people, to walk in my purpose. I cannot tell you how important it is to do something that you love. So number 1 is affluence. Number 2 is heart. Number 3 is effort. Is this effortless for you? Right? So let's imagine on one of your ideas, you said, for example, people marvel when you talk about sales, for example, right? And I want you to think, when you talk about sales, do people who want to learn about sales, do they have money? So let me change the color. Do they have money? Number 1. Number 2, do you love talking about sales? Do you love it? And number 3, is it effortless? I.e., is it something that you already know? You already have skills in this area. You have expertise in this area. It is effortless for you. Now, what I want you to do is to look at all of your ideas and come up with your one idea. This is your money making zone. That one idea is your money making zone. Remember, you need just one idea, not 2, not 3. So if you're struggling with more than one idea, pop it in the comments below and you can quickly ask, I'm thinking about this, or this. What do you think, Pam? And I will come in and I will help you with your ideas. So your homework for this lesson is this, to pop in the comments, I can mostly help people who blank. Here is the script. It is, I can mostly help people who blank. Who are those people, right? So for example, I might say something along the lines of, I can mostly help people who have real expertise but are struggling or are unsure how to turn that expertise into a lucrative online coaching business. That's my business's ammo. That's what we go for. That's what we stand for. So I want you to write yours. I can mostly help people who blank. What is that? Finish that sentence and pop that in the comments for me. And I'll see you in the next training. So you've watched the training. It is now time to implement. What I would like you to do is to look below this training. You're going to see a section called implementation. In that section, you're going to have a specific task that I have set for you. Have a look at your task, the steps that we have laid out for you, and follow those steps. Then finally, make sure you comment below this video in our course platform so that we can see your responses and we can come back to you and give you feedback. Remember that nothing happens until implementation has taken place. So without those comments, I cannot actually support you further. So if you would like my help, make sure you leave your comments below this video. And finally, we like to over deliver. I've opened up the calendar for myself and my team of coaches, and we want to take this a step further with supporting you with implementing everything that you are learning within this program and to answer some of the questions that you may have. You might be in a position where you actually benefit from speaking with us instead of just doing this by yourself. What I'd like you to do is click on the button below this video to schedule your breakthrough call. There is no cost. You can literally come on the call, ask any question that you have, and we would be glad to support you. So make sure you click on that link and schedule your call if you need to. I'll see you in the next training.